Hi there guys, Al here, Coconut Gaming. I'll get my opinion on this straight away. This is cool. Check this out. And this one. And again with typhus. Now, what you're watching here is a program called Pixverse, and this dude, whose name I've hidden, posted on the Heavier Metal Facebook group, just showing his cool Nurgle models that he'd painted and then used this Pixverse to animate. And like I said, I think this looks absolutely awesome. I think this is epic. But cue a load of people, you'll see there's 224 odd comments, a load of people bitching and complaining that it was AI and therefore it was stealing from other artists. And there was a few people who were really quite zealous about this. You know, they were properly lambasting both him and anybody else who dared defend him, like me. I was like, well, dude, they're your models, you painted them, you've just animated them using a filter. It's no difference to somebody taking a selfie and then using like a filter to animate bunny ears and stuff on them. But you had people constantly complaining, no, this is a abominable intellect, this is stealing other people's artwork. And I was like, well, how is it stealing other people's artwork? So I thought, we'll have a look at this. Because, I mean, the dude painted it. He didn't sculpt it, but he did paint it. And then, you know, you've got people having a go at him for doing this cool thing. And I think it is, as I said, I think it's cool. And what's more, if you think that GW wouldn't do this to animate your models, you know, within a heartbeat, like sell something on the GW app, like an expansion where you move your phone camera over your army or over your models and it animated and made them do cool stuff. If you think GW wouldn't do that in a heartbeat, then I've got some magic beans to sell you. But let's have a look at this. Is this really AI, you know, stealing people's artwork? The argument used was that basically AI is trained using, you know, thousands, if not millions of people's artwork to then basically say, right, this is how an arm moves, this is how a sword moves, this is how a guy would puke blood and stuff. This is how smoke would issue from, you know, typhus's hive stacks and that kind of stuff. But this is also how a human would learn. You know, when I learned to draw, you know, an anatomy and stuff like that, I learned from looking at the real thing. So this is, at the end of the day, just a glorified Instagram filter. And I don't think it's worthy of the vitriol that this guy attracted. And it was a lot, oh, AI slop, get it out of here, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not convinced that this is stealing anybody's artwork. He painted these models quite well, I might say, and then he just did something cool to animate them. And, you know, I'd certainly do the same thing myself. At the end of the day, these programs and tools are a utility that you can use to work on something that you've already created. You know, I've seen people use something like Pixverse to add, you know, muzzle flares and lighting to Titan shots and things like that. So, yeah, really, I just kind of wanted your feedback on this one, guys, because there was a AI controversy where a guy used an AI created background, a fully AI generated background for one of his golden demon pieces. And I do think that's kind of different because you have just put the prompt in and it's brought something completely new that is created from millions of sources of different pictures that it's picked up on. It's just kind of combined them, because let's face it, all AI technically is at the moment is a glorified search feature. There's no actual artificial intelligence behind it at all. But my opinion is this completely different. This is no different to just using an Instagram filter. And I'll play them again, but I think that's really awesome, man. If you think GW would use something like this, you're absolutely crazy. And there's typhus again as well. Hell, GW are probably already looking at this AR filter for your models and stuff. Anyway, I think it's amazing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is stealing. Maybe it's all horrible and terrible. I don't know. You guys, as always, let me know in the comments, and I'll be back with another video soon.